Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Thursday, the 23rd of November 2023. So yesterday, bonds, yields and Bitcoin jump as black gold dumps and pumps. Gold down, Bitcoin up, bonds down, dollar up, VIX to 12 handle. We'll come back to volatility in just a moment. And then we've got stocks and dollar rise ahead of Thanksgiving. Well, what a surprise. 83% of the time in the last 50 years, that's exactly what has happened. Economic news today, well, we've got all of the flash news out, apart from the US, which obviously is closed today. So all of the European flash manufacturing, which is a pain in the proverbial, because the market will react accordingly as it's released as they deem fit. But let's just go back to volatility and have a look at this. I mean, obviously the market's been fairly quiet. That helps to support it. But the volatility has fallen off a cliff and we're down to 9.84, actually lower by 0.1 of the previous low, which saw the market drop over 2,000 points when we got down to these levels. And if we go back to a few years ago in the monthly charts, and just pull this up for you, you can see there where we got down into the nines, how the market also pulled back 1,000, 2,000 points from these low numbers. And then obviously recently we've got this one here where we've tried to get back. Whether we can get back to the all-time high, who knows? It's the only stock market that hasn't got back to its all-time highs for a while, and maybe that's the case. So certainly the S&P and the German DAX and the FTSE have all done that this year. So let's have a look at the markets for yesterday, see what they're doing overnight as well. The Dow was up 184 in the cash market from 2:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. So let's have a look, see how this one is faring overnight, and all of the other markets too. So yesterday, as you can see, we're above the 5-bar moving average. The parabolic continues to move to the upside, and we just got to take out these new highs to the left there. We got 35, 394, 576 and 686. We're already through the 35, 226, which has been a resistance for this week, but the market took that out comfortably yesterday. And as you can see, it's up quite nicely overnight as well. It just needs to take out the high, and maybe they'll use the flash numbers today to actually move the electronic market higher. The cash market won't be open, but the electronic markets will. So yesterday, choppy session, but markets moving higher as they normally do through Thanksgiving. In the German DAX, also 15,991. You can see the market still long there. The parabolic still to the upside. Look at the weekly chart. So we came off an 89% retracement. We're now heading for 16,045. 16,000 is the target for today, which we can't be too far off at all. Let's have a look at the 30 minutes. We're only about 50 points off this, aren't we? So up here is the 16,000 level, if I'm not mistaken. That's just, yeah. So there, the high of yesterday, we tried to get to it yesterday, just failed slightly. Down a bit at the moment, but we've got the DP and the close below there to try and bring this market back to the upside. In the S&P 500, let's go to the weekly chart. We can see again also coming off an 89% retracement. We've taken out the highs to the left here. Let me just mark that up so you can see that yesterday 4540, and now it's a matter of taking out the 4607 level there. So the S&P climbing back to towards its all. I think that's the all-time high, isn't it? Not quite. So we'll look in this monthly chart, 48. I think that's 48. Let me just double check. Yeah, 4817 is the all-time high for the S&P. It's been down quite a bit, but now making its way back. Must be bonus season. So daily charts moving higher through the 4540. 30-minute chart, choppy yesterday, but up nicely in the electronic market. The high just above here as well at 4569. In the FT100, didn't respond much to what Hunt had to say, so I don't know whether they believe him or not. So the reduction in taxes. The irony, as I've mentioned before in the alert, is only a year ago. It's exactly what Liz trusted, and then she was fired. But that's for other reasons, which I won't go into. 30-minute charts for the FTSE, you can see down. There's a bit of volatility during his speech, but at the moment the market's struggling with the DP there. US dollar was up yesterday, as it said. No surprise, we'd be down for several days, so we need to close back above the 5 MA there to bring prices back to the upside. Certainly below the 20 bar moving average at the moment. Let's have a look at the metals. Starting off with silver, still some selling around for yesterday, which you'd expect with the dollar being higher. Still holding above the 200 MA, but a break below this. Off we go again to the downside. And it'll be the same for gold as well, which we'll look at in just a moment. But you can see there yesterday's sell-off. And I suspect there'll be more of that during today, as well, as the markets are going to be thinly traded. And the London fix will take advantage of this. In gold, we can see that we're trying to get back to the all-time high. Let me go to a monthly chart. So we can see this triple top that we've got over here. We have taken it out a couple of times, but the market's never held. We went to 78 here, which is this last run up. The previous is 2074, but they don't want the market going through that $2,000, because if it does, it will be a break from years of being stuck in a sideways move. So they're going to do the damnedest to try and keep it below these all-time highs of 2074, but they're doing a good job at the moment of keeping it below the $2,000 level. As you can see yesterday, using the economic news from the UK to slam prices and hold prices down. Bit of a bounce in Asia, but will it hold? That's the question. Particularly as there's a deal now done in Israel. Ukraine's disappeared off the news map completely. Incredible. So these wars are just going on in the background now and completely ignored by the markets, which they were before, but now they're just brushed under the carpet and ignored completely. So the pressure on gold and, of course, inflation's now down, allegedly. So with all of these things coming together, there's a good reason to move the metals to the downside, unless there's a problem in the banks, but we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? So let's have a quick look at the gold silver ratio, which is not doing a great deal, stuck in a sideways range, which again you'd expect at the moment. But again, I'm expecting this to go back up past all of these highs to the left here, and up to towards 90. The down move and the manipulation of the gold and the silver price is not over by a long shot. So with that, let's move on and have a look at the basic trades for yesterday. So yesterday morning, the market put on the points beforehand, heading towards Tuesday's high there. And then we can just run through this because there were no trades. As you can see, the market really quiet, had a bit of a move up, then gave up those gains, and then just traded in a range through the morning session, as well as the electronic came on for the Dow. Market just stuck in that range, and that's how it stayed. Whoops, let me just go back to here. We had a potential short to kick off the afternoon. This wasn't filled. We had then a potential long. This wasn't filled. That's how quiet it was. And then eventually, later on, we do have a short that was filled. And if we continue through here, but eventually the market making its way back down to the high, and this trade actually taking out the scalp and making a bit of a profit. But like I say, it was torturous, because prices were quiet, market's quiet, and again, this is typical of the Thanksgiving holes, which of course is today. Markets for the US closed, everywhere else is open. We'll just have to wait and see what the market does and see if there's any life in it and whether it's going to continue to move higher on the overnight. So let's just have a look at those. So the 2-minute chart overnight, again, you can see we've piled on the points already. We've come back and tested the 15,950, which is an interesting area as well, because there's only 50 points up to the 16,000. This is where the target is likely to be for today's trading session. Now, they'll want to try and get the market back above that psychological level, and what better way to do it than when the big players out of the game for the day. We have got the electronic market, but that tends to support whatever happens in Europe anyway during the US close. Okay, that's it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.